गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वम् अरोगिताम् अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। तं सूर्यं जगतां नाथं ज्ञानविज्ञानमोक्षदं महापापहरं देवं तं सूर्यं प्रणमाम्यहम्। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्थप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ। येनाक्षरसमाम्नायमधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। येन धौता गिरः पुंसां विमलैः शब्दवारिभिः तमश्चाज्ञानजं भिन्नं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं च यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देवनारायण नमोऽस्तु ते। कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि। अस्तु। So let me share my screen. Which sentence did we complete?
232 అనుకుంటున్నాను.
Okay. Uh, 251 మొదలు పెట్టినట్టున్నాను.
Vini, we were at the 300 series.
Were we already on the 300?
Yes, I can give you the number. Oh, no,
Okay.
we were not. I'm sorry.
We are either on 200 and something.
260. Last we finished.
Okay. Okay. So we'll start here. So Surya Bhagini.
261
260.
तत्र सूर्यं पश्य विभक्ति पश्य क्रिया सूर्यं कर्मपदं तत्र देशाधिकरणम् अहं सूर्यं पश्य अहं तत्र सूर्यं पश्य
62 కూడా చెప్పండి.
त्वं सूर्यं पश्य
తర్వాత సెంటెన్స్ కూడా చెప్పండి.
तत्र स्थित्वा किं करिष्यसि क्रियापदं स्थित्वा किं कर्मपदं तत्र देशाधिकरणं स्थित्वा
किं कृत्वा करिष्यसि स्थित्वा करिष्यसि. So स्थित्वा पूर्वकाल इत्युक्ते पूर्वक्रियापदम्. Okay, the first kriya that the karta has done before the main kriya. So so if we have to split this sentence into two sentences, how will you split?
त्वं किं करिष्यसि
तत्र स्थित्वा किं करिष्यसि. You have to split it into two sentences. How will you do that?
त्वं तत्र स्थित्वा किं करिष्यसि అంటే त्वं तत्र तिष्ठतु
or मध्यमपुरुषे अस्ति अतः तत्र त्वं तत्र तिष्ठ
त्वं किं करिष्यसि
Okay. Then when we join it, it will become the first kriya padam will take tvanta and it will become tatra sthitva tvam kim karishyasi. Here the kartrupadam is not given, but we can take adhyahrita. Astu. Anantaram Toshali Bhagini.
तत्र स्नानाय जलम् अस्ति किम् अस्ति क्रियापदं तत्र देशाधिकरणं स्नानाय लवन्त न सॉरी हेत्वर्थक प्रयोजनं जलं
विभक्तिः किम् अत्र
चतुर्थी
अतः प्रयोजनं
जलं कर्मपदम्
अस्ति किम् अस्ति
जलमस्ति
so जलं कर्मपदं वा कर्तृपदं
कर्तृपदं किं प्रश्नार्थक
अव्यय अस्तु उत्तमम्. So अत्र अस्ति इति क्रियापदं किमस्ति जलमस्ति किमर्थमस्ति स्नानाय अस्ति कुत्र अस्ति तत्र अस्ति किं. So किं प्रश्नार्थकः अतः अस्ति किम् इति एव क्रियापदं भवितुमपि अर्हति. Okay, you can join it with asti also. Asti kim asti jalam asti kimartham asti snanaya asti kutra asti tatra asti. Kim also you can tag along in the answer. In the answer you can add the kim because it is prashna vachaka. Yes, Bhagini.
Bhagini, are we not going to display the tables and form?
Sorry. Yeah, I forgot. Sorry. Thank you for reminding. Tatra suryam pashya. So, tatra suryam pashya. Since pashya is in madhyama purusha, Tvam, Tvam is the Adhyahritam Kartrupadam. Okay, Pashya Drish Dhatu, Kartari, Lotlakara, Madhyama Purusha, Ekavachana, Parasmaipadi Bhuvadigana. Suryam, Suryam Pashya, Ataha Suryam iti Karmapadam. Pumlinge Dvitiya Vibhakti, Ekavachanam. Tatra Avyayam, Tvam Yushmat Shabdasya, Prathama Vibhakti, Ekavachanam. Anantaram, Tatra Sthitva Kim Karishyasi. So, Tatra Deshadhikaranam, Avyayam, Sthitva Ksvantam, Sthadhatoho Ksvantam, Bhuvadigana, Kim Karishyasi. So, Tat Karmapadam. Here it is Karmapadam. But if it is given at the end of the sentence after the Kriya, it will normally become Prashnavachaka. Okay, Kim Karishyasi. If it is said Tatra Sthitva Karishyasi Kim, then the meaning will change a little bit. Standing there, did you do this or are you going to do this? Karishyasi Lrit Lakara Krul Dhatoho Swadigana. Okay, and here we have, so here the Purvakala will be indicated by the dotted line. So the Tvam is the Kartrupadam to Karishyasi as well as Sthitva. But Sthitva is not the main Kriyapadam, the dotted line is used to represent that. Anantaram Tatra Snanaya Jalam Astikim. So Snanaya Prayojanam, Jalam Kartrupadam, Kim is a Sambandha and Tatra is Deshadhikaranam. Tatra and Kim are Avyayas, Jalam, Napumsakalingam, Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachanam, because it is Kartrupadam. Snanaya is Chaturthi Ekavachanam. Astu. Bhagini, so Toshali Bhagini, tell the next sentence also.
Yeah. Tatra havan artham indhanam nasti. Nasti kriyapadam. Tatra deshadhikaranam. Indhanam karmapadam. Kim nasti.
Kim nasti.
Indhanam. Kartrupadam. Kartrupadam. Havan artham. Havanartham. Prayojanam.
Prayojanam. Tadeva. Okay. So Havanartham Indhanam Tatra na asti.
Nasti.
So here Havanartham, actually they need not take it as a, it is not, yeah, it is a kind of samasa, right? We studied the samasa words where we had this artha shabda in the sense of, it had several senses, it had several meanings. So similarly here, the word is split into two, and always the Purva Padam will be in, they are using this color code. In this particular case, they chose to use Artham in the Dvitiya Vibhakti. This is just something that, you know, my professor is using it in this way. So there is the significance of putting this in Dvitiya Vibhakti, you know, is not like in the Karma Padam or anything. They just chose to do it like this. I don't know if it is a temporary arrangement or if there is a purpose behind that. So Indhanam is the Kartrupadam. So it is in Napumsaka Prathama Vibhakti. It is in Prathama Vibhakti. Astu. Kimartham also they split like that only. We have the word Kimartham, right? So Kim and Artham. So wherever this Artham is there, it is a split and the Artham Shabda is put in Dvitiya Vibhakti. Astu. Anantaram, Alivelu Bhagini.
तथा ईश्वरज्ञानस्य अपेक्षा सर्वेषु मनुष्येषु अवश्यं भवति. भवति क्रियापदम्, अपेक्षा कर्तृपदम्, सर्वेषु सप्तमी, मनुष्येषु सप्तमी, अवश्यम् अव्ययम्.
Avashyam. So Karaka Sambandham kim Manusheshu iti
అధికరణం అవుతుంది.
Adhikaranam. Sarveshu.
అధికరణం సర్వేషు కూడా విశేషణాటు మనుష్యేషు.
Visheshanatu
మనుష్యేషు.
Avashyam.
అవశ్యం అవ్యయం. క్రియా
Sambandham.
విశేషణం.
Kriya
క్రియా
Visheshanam.
విశేషణం భవతికి క్రియా విశేషణం.
Ishvara
అపేక్ష కర్తృపదం.
Hmm.
ఈశ్వర జ్ఞానస్య షష్ఠి సంబంధాటు అపేక్ష జ్ఞానస్య తథా అవ్యయం.
तथा अव्ययमेव किन्तु अत्र सम्बन्धं किम्?
తథా
So Shabda can take several meanings. Okay, sometimes it will be from the previous line in this way. Tatha can imply in this way, or hence, or afterwards. Like this, depending on the context, the word tatha can take any meaning. If it is like in this way, then we can mark it as kriya visheshana to the kriya padam. Tatha bhavati. In this way, the apeksha will happen. Or later on, hence, or thereafter. So first in the previous sentence, it might be something like Bhagavad Gita patati. Saha Bhagavad Gita patati. Tatha Ishvara Jnanasya apeksha sarveshu manusheshu avashyam bhavati. So after he or they read Bhagavad Gita, that apeksha comes. Right? Once we start reading something and acquiring some knowledge, then automatically that apeksha, to know more about it, to understand more about it, that will develop. Right? So in that way, if the tatha is used, so thereafter. So here it is indicating more of a sequence rather than the kind, how it is happening. So like that, then that will become a discourse analysis. Discourse analysis means when words are connecting two sentences or two paragraphs or two chapters, or depending on what they are connecting. Even if they are connecting simply two sentences, or even if they are connecting two different chapters, it doesn't matter. It still is considered as discourse analysis, it is called. Okay. That kind of connections also, like my professor is working on how to connect them. So tatha can imply anything. Depending on the context, we have to take. Here, for example, the context is not given. We don't know if tatha is being carried from the previous sentence, or it is simply saying how it is happening. So then we have the freedom of marking it either way. You can simply mark it as kriya visheshana, or we can mark it as thereafter or then. If you mark it as then it will become adhikarana, because it is indicating time. Otherwise, simply if it is discourse analysis, we are, since we haven't already incorporated how to mark the discourse analysis, we are simply marking it as a sambandha. Okay, whenever something is not completely done, we mark it as sambandha, because there is a relation, but we haven't yet named it yet completely. Okay, so there that research is still going on in that aspect. So here tatha is considered as a discourse analysis only, so sambandha. Otherwise, we could have marked it as kriya visheshana also in this way. Okay. Astu. Read the next sentence also, Bhagini.
తథా కురు.
So here, back, Ishvara Jnanasya is a samasa word. So Ishvara is Purva Padam and Jnana is Uttara Padam, which is in Shashti Vibhakti. Apeksha Strilingam Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachanam. Sarveshu Manusheshu Saptami Bahuvachanam.
బహువచనం.
Avashyam is Avyayam.
అవశ్యం అవ్యయం.
Now read, Bhagini.
తథా కురు. కురు క్రియాపదం అస్తి. मध्यमपुरुषः एकवचनं कुरु धातुः
प्रथम
अजा तदा कुरु
मध्यम
मध्यमपुरुषः एकवचनं त्वम् अजाहृतं कर्तृपदं तथा ఇక్కడ అవ్యయం తథా అవ్యయం.
Again, the same thing applies. Here, do it in that way. Right? Tatha means do it in that way. We can take like that. So that is why Kriya Visheshanam it became. Okay, Tatha Kuru. Here also later on you do. We can say it, we can take it like that also. Later on you do, then you do. Like that also you can take. But it here it makes more sense to take it like you do it in this way. So Kriya Visheshanam bhavati. Astu. Anantaram Lakshmi Narayana Mahodaya.
Lakshmi Narasimhacharya.
Narasimhacharya. Sorry.
Lakshmi Narasimhacharya.
Ma'am Mahodaya.
तथा तत्र अहम आम्रं भक्षयिष्यामि. भक्षयिष्यामि क्रियापदम्. अहं कर्तृपदम् अध्याहुतम्. आम्रं कर्मपदम्. అహం ఉన్నది ఇక్కడ. తథా తత్ర ఈ రెండు అవ్యయాలు. తథా అనేది సంబంధం. తత్ర దేశాధికరణం. అహం అస్మత్ పదం సర్వనామ పదంలో ప్రథమ ఏకవచనం. ఆమ్రం పుంలింగ ద్వితీయ ఏకవచనం. భక్షయిష్యామి భక్ష ధాతు కర్తవ్య లృట్రకారం ఏకవచనం. పరస్మైపది ఏకవచనం చురాదిగణం. దేశాధికరణం తత్ర.
సో తథా తత్ర అహం ఆమ్రం భక్షయిష్యామి. సో లృట్లకార ఉత్తమ పురుష ఏకవచన. చురాదిగణ. ఆమ్రం పుంలింగ ద్వితీయ విభక్తి ఏకవచన. అహం అస్మత్ శబ్ద సర్వనామ ఏకవచనం. తత్ర అండ్ తథా అవ్యయం. సో హియర్ తథా ఈస్ టేకెన్ యాజ్ ద సంబంధ. Like I said, here in this context, since the sentences are standalone, we can take tatha in either way, like either as it is carrying over from the previous sentence or in this way. Then it will become Kriya Visheshana. In this way, there I will eat the mango. In like that also we can take. Anantaram api patatu Mahodaya.
तथा तारकान् दृष्ट्वा मनुष्यः स्वपिति. तथा अव्ययम्. स्वपिति क्रियापदम्. स्वपिति क्रियापदम्. मनुष्यः कर्तृपदम्. कर्मपदं नास्ति. तथा तारकान् कर्मपदम्. तथा तारकान् दृष्ट्वा मनुष्यः स्वपिति.
So tarakan karmapadam to
कर्मपदं सु दृष्ट्वा.
So swapiti iti kriyapadam. Kaha swapiti?
मनुष्यः स्वपिति.
किं कृत्वा स्वपिति?
दृष्ट्वा स्वपिति. मनुष्यः दृष्ट्वा स्वपिति. तारकान् दृष्ट्वा स्वपिति.
कथं
तारकान् दृष्ट्वा तथा स्वपिति.
अस्तु.
स्वपिति स्वप्. क्रियापदं स्वप्. कर्तरि लट्लकारं प्रथमैकवचनं परस्मैपदी
अदादिगणम्. अस्तु.
मनुष्यः पुंलिंग एकवचनं प्रथमाविभक्ति एकवचनं. दृष्ट्वा त्वा प्रत्ययम् अव्ययं दृश् धातु द्वादिगणम्. తారకాం తారక పుంలింగ తారకः కదా తారకాన్ ఉన్నది కాబట్టి తారక పుంలింగ ద్వితీయ విభక్తి బహువచనం తథా అవ్యయం తథా సంబంధ క్రియా అదే క్రియా విశేషణం అనుకున్నది కపితి దృష్ట్వా పూర్వకాల అదే అయిపోయింది
పూర్వకాలం
తారకాన్ కర్మపదం
अस्तु महोदय धन्यवादः अनन्तरं भावना भगिनी पठितुम् इच्छति वा हर्षा भगिनी
आं भगिनि तदा एव आदिसृष्टिम् आरभ्य अद्य पर्यन्तं वेद उपदेशम् अनन्तरा सर्वमनुष्याणां प्रवृत्तिः भवेत् अत्र I think I have to split the whole sentence into like a three part, otherwise it will not
so this
work out.
we have, I don't think even we completely did the analysis, because this paryantam they have not identified how to mark like how to name that relation paryantam. Okay, so first identify the kriya padam.
First bhavet is one of the kriya pada.
किम भवेत और कह भवेत और का भवेत
मनुष्याणां प्रवृत्ति भवेत्
प्रवृत्तिः भवेत् सो प्रवृत्तिः कर्तृपदं भवति केषां प्रवृत्तिः भवेत्
पुनः वदतु भगिनि
केषां प्रवृत्तिः भवेत्
मनुष्याणां
प्रवृत्तिः भवेत् अत्र सर्वमनुष्याणाम् इति समासपदमस्ति, अतः सर्वमनुष्याणां प्रवृत्तिः भवेत् इति वक्तव्यम्। अनन्तरं
अनन्तरा उपदेशं वेद उपदेशं अपि भवेत्, सो पुनः भवेत् इति क्रियापद and then Ved Upadesham is going to be the
here, Antara is another word. This is also avyayam, which is used in two senses. One is without and one is with. It is used in both. That opposite meanings will apply to that. So according to the context, we have to take. So here, tatha eva adi srishtim arabhya adya paryantam Veda Upadesham Antara Sarva Manushyanam Pravrittihi Bhavet. So here we have to take with, right? Veda Upadesham Antara means with the Veda Upadesha, the pravritti of the people is happening. Should be happening or should happen. Bhavet, should happen. So starting from the Srishti, when the Srishti has originally started, until today, Adya Paryantam, the Manushyanam Pravrittihi, the way the people are behaving, is happening based on the Vedopadesham, like how it is given in the Vedas. Like that we can take the meaning. But here, like I said, they have not coined words, the relation names for the words Paryantam and Arabhya also, I think. So let me see what I did with this. So, Adi Srishtim Arabhya. So, Arabhya we took as Kaladhikaranam. Adi Srishtim Arabhya. Veda Upadesham Antara. Sarva Manushyanam Pravrittihi, which is the Kartripradam. Tatha Eva Bhavet. So, here Paryantam I did not include. Why? Because like I said, we have not decided on how to mark it. Okay. So we'll not worry about this sentence too much, because it is not completely done. But such sentences also will be there. So Arabhya is indicating when it is starting. So we can mark it as kaladhikaranam. But paryantam, adya paryantam, this is also indicating a kind of time, but I don't know why they did not, they are not marking it as time. Kaladhikaranam, they are not marking it as kaladhikaranam. They put it aside for now. Okay. And antara should not be deshadhikaranam actually. Vedopadesham antara. That also we'll have to check. So let us put this sentence aside for now. Read the next one, Bhagini.
Okay. 270. Okay. Tada aham api agamishyami. Atra agamishyami kriyapadam asti. Api avayam asti. Aham asmat sabda prathama vibhakti ekvachana. Tada ati kal
Kaladhikaranam.
kaladhikaran darshayati. So agamishyami, it is a bhavishya kala asti. So
Rit lakara.
ret lakara. Mahodaya.
Tadeva. So here tada ahamapi agamishyami. So then at that time I will also come. Anantara. Would you like to read the next one also?
Sure, I'll try. Tada tatra tvam na agamishyasi kim. No, agamishyasi kim. Kim prashnavachak asti, but agamishyasi iti kriyapadam asti. Tatra agamishyasi, it is madhyama purusha ekvachanam asti. Na avyayam. Tatra kutra I can adhikaranam.
Deshadhikaranam.
Deshadhikaranam. Tvam iti madhyama purush. No, it is not. Ekvachanam, kartrupadam, and tada it is again, it is an kala nirdesha.
So tada tatra tvam na agamishyasi kim. So at that time, did you not come there? Like that. Astu. Anantaram Bhavana Bhagini asti va?
Dhanyavad Bhagini.
Dhanyavadah Bhagini. Bhavana Bhagini? Okay. No chet punaha Surya Bhagini?
Hmm.
72.
तदा तदा अधर्मस्य अभ्युत्थानं भवति. अभ्युत्थानं भवति. भवति क्रियापदम्. अभ्युत्थानं कर्मपदम्.
Abhyuttanam?
अभ्युत्थानं भवति कर्तृपदम्.
Kartrupadam.
तदा तदा
Kaladhikaranam.
अधर्मस्य षष्ठी सम्बन्धं.
To Abhyuttanam. So tada tada, the first tada will be vipsa, the second tada we have to mark it as kaladhikaranam.
అంటే వీప్స అంటే ఎలా తీసుకుంటారు?
Vipsa ante just a repetition ante.
ఓహో.
In some cases we will consider it as ante if we join it in a samasa like griham griham pratigriham. Like that. If we join such words in samasa, then they will become that avyayi bhava samasa. But right now they are not joined in samasa. So when they are not joined in samasa, vipsa means repetition. When the same word is repeated twice. Then the first word will get that relation name vipsa. The second will be whatever role it is playing. Here it is kaladhikaranam. Depending on which word is being repeated. Sometimes other karaka sambandhas also can be repeated. Grihat griham saha gachati means he is going from one house to another. From one house. So that is why the first griham shabda is in Panchami. Grihat griham. Saha gachati. Griham saha pratigriham saha gachati. Like the griham gachati, pratigriham gachati. Grihat griham gachati means from one house to another house he is going. There is a little difference in both the sentences. One is you are saying he is going to every house. Griham griham gachati. Griham gachati. One house to another house he is going. Like that. It implies the same thing finally, but a different way of saying. That's all. So tada tada adharmasya abhyuthanam bhavati. So the first tada is vipsa, the second one is kaladikara. Next sentence also read.
Tada tasya mata tam aha. Aha kriyapadam. Tam kartrupadam, karmapadam. Tam aha. Tam aha. Tam.
Kim karakam tam?
Tam karmakarakam.
Karmakarakam.
Karmakarakam. Mata kartrukarakam.
Kartrupadam.
Tasya षष्ठी संबंध माता की षष्ठी संबंध तदा कालाधिकरण
So tada tasya mata tam aha. So at that time his mother told him. So tam is also pumlinga, tasya is also pumlinga. His mother told him. Astu. Anantaram Toshali Bhagini?
Yeah.
74.
तदा सः अत्र आगमिष्यति एव. आगमिष्यति आगमिष्यति क्रियापदं, सः कर्तृपदं, एव अव्ययं, तदा कालाधिकरणम्, अत्र देशाधिकरणम्.
So here eva is connected to agamishyati. Okay. Eva is one word, eva and api. Depending on where they are located in the sentence, the emphasis will be to that word. With which word they are associated, the emphasis will be to that word. Okay, so we have to remember that. So here eva is after the kriyapadam. So agamishyati eva. Tada saha atra agamishyati eva. He will definitely come there in that sense. Okay. Read the next one also, Bhagini.
तदा सर्वत्र प्रकाशः भवति. भवति क्रियापदं, प्रकाशः कर्तृपदं, तदा कालाधिकरणं, सर्वत्र देशाधिकरणं.
Tadeva. So tada sarvatra prakashah bhavati. So initially this suryodayah bhavati, chandrodayah bhavati. Like this, it will be a little like suryodayah itself is the kartrupadam. Initially that will be a little difficult for us to relate that prakashah is the kartrupadam. But you can think of that. Always when in doubt, you see where the vyapara ashrayatvam is there. Okay. So suryodayah bhavati. Bhavati means happening. What is happening? Suryodayah. So suryodayah in that udayam, when that udayam is happening, it means the sun is rising. So that bhavati means happening. That ashrayatvam of bhavati is in surya only, that suryodayah only. So like that we can identify the kriyapadam. When in doubt, you always see what the dhatu is, what the kriyapadam is, what is the vyapara to that dhatu, and where that vyaparam is. Vyaparam means that action of happening. And phalashrayatvam means where the final result of that kriyapadam will be, where it will be. Okay, in Gamana Kriya, what will be the phala ashrayatvam? Phalam, what will be the phalam? Reaching a certain place, right? Reaching a certain place. So, saha pathashalam gacchati. So, gacchati, Gamana Kriya. When you are going somewhere, what are you expecting out of doing that kriya? You want to reach some place. So, pathashala. The idea is to reach the pathashala. So, the phalashrayatvam will be in pathashala. So, that will be the karma padam. And who is doing the action of going? Saha. So, saha will be kartrupadam. Like that, sometimes we might get this doubt, which is the kartrupadam, which is the karma padam. Whenever you are in such doubt, always look at the kriya padam, focus on the kriya padam, what the dhatvartha is, what is the kriya that is happening there, who is doing that kriya. Vyaparashrayatvam kutra asti. Who is actually doing the kriya and where the phalam is. And bhavati is a akarmaka kriya. So there will not be any karma padam. Bhu dhatu and as dhatu. For both of these, they don't have, these are akarmaka dhatus. So they do not have a karma padam. So there itself, one confusion is rectified because they both are akarmaka. You don't have karma padam. So you don't worry about what is the karma to this kriya padam. Because they are akarmaka, they don't have karma padam. So like that also you can clear some of your confusions. So it does not have a karma padam. So this has to be the kartru padam. But again, we also have to remember that if these dhatus are preceded by any upasarga, sometimes the meanings can change. Sometimes they can become sakarmaka after adding a prefix. Sometimes, not for all the prefixes. We have to see, depending on each situation, we have to assess that. And if addition of a particular prefix will make that dhatu sakarmaka, when it is being used along with that prefix, then accordingly, again, we have to watch out. So blindly, we cannot say bhu dhatu and as dhatu will not have karma padams. They by themselves will definitely not have. But if they are preceded by an upasarga, then again, depending on the meaning of that dhatu, along with that upasarga, it can be a sakarmaka. So then again, we have to watch out for that. Okay. So that is a common mistake we might do. So watch out for such things. Okay. Anantaram. Alivelu Bagini. Alivelu Bagini अस्ति वा?
अर्चना अस्ति भगिनि तदा अहम् उद्यानं गच्छामि गच्छामि क्रियापदं प्रथमं गम धातुः उत्तमपुरुष एकवचनम् अहं कर्तृपदम् उद्यानं कर्मपदं तदा कालाधिकरणम्
So tada aham udyanam gacchami. Anantaram.
तद् अहं न जानामि जानामि क्रियापदं
न जानामि
क्रियापदं ज्ञा धातुः उत्तमपुरुष एकवचनम् अहं कर्तृपदम् अस्मत् शब्दः प्रथमपुरुष एकवचनं प्रथमाविभक्ति एकवचनं तद् अव्ययम्
अव्ययं वा?
तद् तत् अहं तद् द्वितीयाविभक्ति एकवचनं कर्मपदम्
शब्दं तद् शब्दम्
I don't know तत् शब्दस्य
तद् शब्दमेव. The tad as in saha tau te, that is in pumlinga. Tad shabdam in strilinga. Sa te taha. In napumsakam it will become tat te tani. So here it is in napumsakam. Napumsakam dvitiya vibhakti ekvachana. That is why it becomes the
ekvachana.
Bhagini, I'm going to ask you.
So here the color is wrong. It has to be in, the tad should be in dvitiya vibhakti. It is given here as Prathama. For the Sarvanama, for any Napumsaka Linga, that is a common mistake that happens. Because the Prathama Vibhakti and the Dvitiya Vibhakti Rupas are the same, we tend to not notice that. So here we have to make sure that Tad is marked as Napumsaka Dvitiya Vibhakti Ekavachana. And then the color will become green. Okay. Na janami jna dhatu latlakara uttama purusha ekavachana parasmaipadi krayadi dhatu gana. Astu.
भगिनी एक प्रश्न अस्ति अत्र क्षमातम् I am asking पुनः पुनः समान प्रश्न
No problem.
See, in Asmad, Sarvanama, then one, and then Eka. So what is the one is stand for? Prathama
Vibhakti.
Okay. And it is same thing goes into the like a next column also, the what vibhakti or whatever. Like, you know, in a purple, if I look, it is the same thing. And if I look into the blue, Napusakalinga, Prathama Vibhakti Ekvachan, that is how it is.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I'm asking the same question again and again.
No worries. Asmad Shabda does not have linga, right? It is the same for all the three lingas. That is why the linga is not mentioned here. Though it is a Sarvanama, it does not have linga. Whereas here Tad Shabda, it is a Sarvanama, but it has three linga. So the Napumsaka is mentioned.
Yeah.
The numbers always indicate the Vibhakti. And this Eka indicates the Vachana.
Yes, I understand. Once, you know, like when we are reading the graph and all this, to constantly to keep it reminding to ourselves what it stands for. And sometimes it's so overwhelming when we are looking so many numbers and so many different things. So sorry about it.
Anantaram Lakshmi Narsimhacharya Mahodaya.
78 కదా గ్రంథరచనం అపి కరిష్యంతి ఏవ కరిష్యంతి క్రియాపదం కర్తృపదం తే అదే కరిష్యంతి ఇది అదే ప్రథమ పురుషాలో ఉన్నది కాబట్టి తే కరిష్యంతి బహువచనం కాబట్టి తే కర్తృపదం తే అధ్యావృతం ఏవ అవ్యయం గ్రంథరచనం కర్మపదం అపి అవ్యయం ఇక్కడ
అపి and api is after grantharachanam, so it is
అపి గ్రంథరచనం అపి కరిష్యంతి కరిష్యంతి క్రోధాతు కర్తరై దృఢకారం ప్రథమ విభక్తి బహువచనం ప్రథమ పురుష బహువచనం పరస్మైపది స్వాదిద గ్రంథరచనం గ్రంథరచనం అంటే సమస్త పదం లాగా తీసుకోవచ్చు కదా
సమాస పదం. yes
గ్రంథరచన అనేది
సమాస నామ కిం
గ్రంథస్య రచన
షష్ఠి తత్పురుష
గ్రంథస్య రచనం గ్రంథ అనేది రచనం నపుంసకలింగం గ్రంథరచనం అనేది సమస్త పదం కాబట్టి రచనం నపుంసకలింగం ద్వితీయ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం రచన కాదు తే ఇక్కడ తే అనేది యుష్మద్ అని ఇచ్చిన
again it is given incorrectly. It has to be
కరెక్ట్ అటనా యుష్మద్ అని ఇచ్చారు.
Here they took yushmad shashti vibhakti ekavachana.
బట్ ఇది తే అనేది ప్రథమ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం ఉండాలి.
ప్రథమ విభక్తి బహువచన ఆఫ్ తద్దిశ
బహువచనం ఉండాలి
ఆఫ్ తద్దిశ
అదే తత్శబ్దం అదే పుంలింగమే కదా ఇది కూడా.
అనంతరం the next sentence also Mahodaya.
So next sentence तद् अधुना तत्र न अस्ति न अस्ति क्रियापदम् तत्र देशाधिकरणम् अधुना कालाधिकरणं तद् అనేది ఇక్కడ మళ్ళా నపుంసకలింగం కదా
నపుంసకలింగం కర్తృపదం వా కర్మపదం వా
तद् अधुना तत्र न అది కర్తృపదమే తద్
కర్తృపదం వై బికాజ్
ప్రథమ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం తత్ అధునా తత్ర నాస్తి అది అక్కడ ఇప్పుడు అక్కడ లేదు అని అర్థం అంతే కదా
yes it is not there right now it is not there so here tat kartrupadam adhuna kaladhikaranam tatra deshadhikaranam and na is pratisheda na asti
అధునా తత్ర నా ఇవన్నీ అవ్యయాలు అస్తి అనేది క్రియాపదం అస్ధాతు కర్తరి లట్లకారం ప్రథమ పురుష ఏకవచనం పరస్మైపది అదాది तत् नपुंसकलिंगं सर्वनामं नपुंसकलिंगं प्रथम एकवचनं अधुना అనేది కాలాధికరణం తత్ర దేశాధికరణం ఈ నా అనేది ప్రతిషేధం నిషేధం కదా ప్రతిషేధం
తరోః ఫలం పతితం పతితం క్రియాపదం ఫలం పతితం కర్తృపదం తరోః షష్ఠీ సంబంధ లేకుంటే ఇది పంచమి విభక్తి కదా
షష్ఠీ విభక్తి ఏవ
షష్ఠీ ఓకే
తరోః శబ్దం కిం
తరుః
ఉకారాంత శబ్దః
ఉకారాంత శబ్దం ద్వితీయ అదే ద్వివచనం
షష్ఠీ విభక్తి నా నా నా
షష్ఠీ విభక్తి
ఏకవచనమే
ఏకవచనమే షష్ఠీ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం తరోః ఫలం పతితం
so here patitam kriyapadam phalam napumsakalingam phalam kartrupadam va
ఫలం పతితం కిం పతితం ఓకే అది కర్మపదం
కర్మపదం
ఇది పంచమి కాకూడదు అనేది
here we can take it in two ways, right? Patitam, since patitam is there, sometimes the pratyaya can be
సెపరేషన్ ఉంటది కదా
ఎందుకంటే ఇది పంచమి విభక్తి కావాలని అనుకుంటాము
సెపరేషన్ ఫ్రమ్ ది ట్రీ అనే దానికి వస్తుంది కదా ఇది
here you can take taroho one second here taroho can be taken in two ways. One, if it is taken as Panchami Vibhakti, from the tree, the fruit has made to fall. Second, the tree's fruit is made to fall. Like this we can take. Because the Vibhakti is the same for Panchami and Shashti in the Ukaranta Shabda.
So also,
that is why here we can take it in two ways.
So also the meaningful.
The fruit of the tree. Taroho phalam patitam. So both ways it is valid. You can take in both ways. You can take it as Shashti Vibhakti, then the fruit of that tree has fallen. In the second way, from the tree, it has fallen. Okay, but phalam patitam, here whether phalam is kartrupadam va karmapadam va. Now say for example, if I say pustakam patati, here pustakam, the phalashrayatvam, or sorry, the vyaparashrayatvam is in the pustakam. So pustakam kartrupadam. Similarly, here also phalam patitam. Here the vyaparam is in the phalam itself, right? But say for example, the fruit, say for example, somebody dropped the book or they dropped the fruit. Then what will the sentence be? Say Rama dropped the book. How will you say the sentence?
Rama pustakam patitam.
Patayati.
Patayati. So when somebody makes the book or the fruit fall, then patayati, automatically the nich pratyayam will come. So that is how we can identify here whether the fruit fell by itself or did somebody make it fall. If somebody made it fall, then it will become karma padam. But since it fell by itself, so the vyaparashrayatvam is in the phalam. So it is karta. So phalam patitam. Though patitam is in ktha pratyaya and it indicates karmani, normally when it is indicating karmani, the karma padam should be in prathama vibhakti. Here also it is in prathama vibhakti only, but it is kartrupadam. So that confusion, there is a chance for that confusion. But some ktha pratyayantas, they can be used in kartari also. So here we have to take it like that. Okay, though patitam is in the patitam is in ktha pratyaya, it is in karmani. Sometimes the ktha pratyaya can be used in kartari. We have a sutra for that, Paniniya Sutra, right? So we have to see what are the conditions for a ktha pratyaya to be used in kartari. There are some conditions given. Some akarmaka dhatus can be used. Akarmaka ktha pratyaya dhatus can be used in kartari sense. Like that we have some rules that we have to check and see if this falls under that category. Then we can say that, okay, because of this sutra, we can consider this as kartari prayoga, and accordingly you can identify the karta and the kriya and the karma. Astu. Anantaram api patatu mahodaya.
Tarihi asya kūpasya jalena snanam kuru. Kuru kriyapadam. Snanam kuru. Kadi karmapadam. Jalena karanakarakam. Tritiya vibhakti ekavachanam. Kūpasya षष्ठी विभक्ति एकवचनम संबंध षष्ठी संबंध अस्य कूपस्य षष्ठी संबंध तर्हि अव्यय.
So asya kūpasya, which is षष्ठी संबंध?
Asya kūpasya asya.
Kūpasya is षष्ठी संबंध to jala. Whereas asya is kevalam visheshana to kūpasya.
Visheshana to kūpasya.
Of this well, the water from this well, of this well. With that water you bathe.
Okay. Ikkada adhyahrutam machama purusha ekavachanam ఇది ఇచ్చాడు కదా, కర్తృ క్రియాపదం ఇచ్చాడు కాబట్టి అధ్యాహృతం త్వం.
Yes. So here tarhi, what did you take as tarhi?
అవ్యయం లాగా తీసుకున్నాం.
అవ్యయం only, but the relation, how do you mark? Yadi tarhi. So tarhi will be a part of that yadi tarhi. But sometimes they can be used like this all by themselves, tarhi. So yadi tarhi, how we are marking is, yadi is if, tarhi is then. So it is more like
kaladhikarana.
No. If it is a condition, right? If is a condition. Let me see that name. Avashyakata dyotaka and parinama dyotaka. Avashyakata. Because if means it is a condition, if this happens, so there that necessity is there, avashyakata is there. Okay, so this second part will happen only if the first part happens. So that is why they coined the words avashyakata and parinama. So if that happens, then what is the parinamam? Tarhi. Whatever follows tarhi. So tarhi should be parinama dyotaka. But here, I think by the time when I was doing these sentences, those words were, those names were not identified yet. That time that work was going on. So I simply marked it. No, I marked it as Parinamadhyotaka only. Okay. So Tvam Asya Kupasya Jalena Tarhi Asya Kupasya Jalena Tvam Snanam Kuru. Okay. So then you bathe using this water. The water of this well. So
Kuru
Parinam.
is Kuru is Krudhatu. Madhyama Purusha, Lotlakara, Kartari, Ekavachanam, Parasmaipadi, Tanadi. Tanadi.
Yes.
Next. Tarhi aham haridwaram parashvaha gamishyami. Gamishyami kriyapadam. Aham kartrupadam. Haridwaram karmapadam. Parashvaha kaladhikaranam. Tarhi then Jyotakam. Parinama Jyotakam. Gamishyami the Bhavishyat Kalam. Lutlakara Madhya Uttama Purusha Ekavachanam.
Uttama Purusha.
Uttama Purusha Ekavachanam. Parasmaipadi Vadikaha Gana.
Astu. So Tarhi Aham Haridwaram Parashvaha Gamishyami. Astu Mahodaya. Dhanyavadaha.
Thank you.
So Bhavana Bhagini still not there? Astu. Surya Bhagini. '83. 283.
Bhagini, I'm back. Is it possible to show me 281 for 1 minute? Half a second, minute actually.
Tarhi Asya Kupasya
No,
Jali.
81.
81 only.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Dhanyavad. I'll figure it out from the graph and all.
Tarhi Amram Bhakshayishyati. Bhakshayishyati Kriyapadam. Amram Karma. Karmapadam. Bhakshayishyati.
So Kriyapadam.
Kriyapadam Bhakshayishyati.
Kartrupadam.
Kartrupadam Amram Bhakshayishyati.
Kartrupadam Nasti. So Adhyahritam Swikaraniyam.
Aham Bhakshayishyati. Aham Saha.
So Saha you can take. Yes.
Saha Bhakshayishyati. Amram
Karmapadam. Tarhi
Kaladhikaranam avutunda idi.
Parinamadhyotakaha.
Parinamadhyotakaha.
Just now in the previous sentence we discussed kada. So yadi tarhi. Yadi means if, tarhi is then. Then in the sense if that happens. So then this part will happen. So parinama. It is an effect, after effect of something that might have happened before. Only then we use the word tarhi. Tarhi amram bhakshayishyati. So maybe there is nothing else left. So then he will eat the mango. Like that, something like that. Okay, the situation can be different, but this is the result. So parinama dyotaka.
Here it is marked.
Nichil rungu kada. Nichil rungu kada.
Naku ardham kaledu.
ఇది భక్షయిష్యతి అంటే ఇచ్చి ప్రత్యయం
భవిష్యత్ కాలం.
భవిష్యత్ కాలం.
మీరు ఏదో అడుగుతున్నారు మహోదయ.
కర్త రాంగ్ కదా ఇక్కడ ఆమ్రం అనేది.
కరెక్ట్.
కర్త రాంగ్లీ మార్క్డ్ నా.
కరెక్ట్ కరెక్ట్. ఎస్, ఐ విల్ మార్క్ దట్.
జాగ్రత్తాన్ని కూడా మార్క్ చేయలేదు అది.
ఆమ్రం భక్షయిష్యసి. సో సహ ఆమ్రం భక్షయిష్యసి. సహ షుడ్ బి అధ్యాహృతం. ఆమ్రం షుడ్ బి కర్మపద్. హియర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గివెన్ ఇన్కరెక్ట్. అనంతరం పఠతు భగిని.
తర్హి కిం అర్థం అత్ర మార్గే తిష్టసి. తిష్టసి క్రియాపదం.
కిమర్థం మీరు ఒకటే పదంగా చదవండి, అక్కడ స్ప్లిట్ చేసి.
కిమర్థం కర్మపదం అవుతుందా ఇది?
ప్రయోజనం.
ప్రయోజనం. అత్ర కాలాధికరణం.
అత్ర దేశాధికరణం.
దేశాధికరణం. మార్గే అపి దేశాధికరణం.
Again, tarhi is parinamadhyotaka.
Parinamadhyotaka
is prayojanam. Atra is deshadhikaranam. Marge is also deshadhikaranam. 85 కూడా చదవండి.
తర్హి తం పృచ్ఛ. పృచ్ఛ క్రియాపదం. తం కర్మపదం. పృచ్ఛ త్వం.
సో కర్తృపదం కిం భవిష్యతి అత్ర?
కర్తృపదం త్వం అవుతుంది.
కర్తృపదం త్వం. తం కర్మపదం.
తం కర్మపదం. పృచ్ఛ క్రియాపదం.
తర్హి is పరిణామద్యోతకం. ధన్యవాదాలు భగిని. తర్వాత తోషాలి భగిని. So any questions so far in these sentences? We started from 261. We completed 25 sentences. Any questions in these?
క్షమ్యతాం అనే అది మేము ప్రవేశంలో చదువుకున్నప్పుడు మొట్టమొదట్లో ప్రవేశంలో మామూలుగా ప్రశ్నవాచకం ఇస్తున్నప్పుడు ఈ మధ్యమ పురుష ఉత్తమ పురుషులలో ప్రశ్నవాచకాలను మనం ప్రశ్నవాచకాలు ఉత్తమ పురుషులలో అడగాలి. మామూలుగా సమాధానం ఉత్తమ పురుషులో ఉంటే ప్రశ్న అది మధ్యమ పురుషులో అడగాలి అనేటువంటిది ఉండే అక్కడ. ఇప్పుడు గుర్తొచ్చింది నాకు అది.
కరెక్ట్ కరెక్ట్. సో హియర్ తిష్టసి
మనం మొన్న అనుకున్నాం కదా, అది మామూలుగా కహ అని అన్నట్టుగా
అధ్యాహృతం. మనము we thought that we can do it in prathama purusha.
But how can we ask in madhyama purusha?
So basically when I am saying to you tam prucha, when I am saying to you tam prucha, because it is madhyama purusha, I am talking to you directly. Tarhi tam prucha. So prucha kriyapadam.
Okay.
Prucha kriyapadam. Kaha prucha. Yeah, so because kaha is in prathama purusha and prucha is in madhyama purusha, but that anvayam we have to think of it as a third person is saying. I am not telling you directly. The anvayam I am not telling to you directly. The conversation between us two, somebody else is telling it as anvayam. So when I am telling you tam prucha, and if somebody else were to write the anvaya for that, prucha kriyapadam, kaha pruchati, tvam pruchati, tvam prucha. Okay, kaha pruchati, tvam prucha, because here it is in madhyama purusha. The answer we have to write in the anvayam as given in the sentence, tvam prucha. Then from there onwards, tvam tam prucha, tvam tam prucha. Like that we can go. Only the very first question we can put it in Prathama Purusha. But if we both are making a conversation, to get the answer to Tvam Prucha, we have to say, if I say
Kam prucha.
Aham Pruchami.
దాన్ని ప్రశ్న ఎట్లా అడుగుతారు చెప్పండి? అహం పృచ్ఛామి అనేది. అహం పృచ్ఛామికి ప్రశ్న ఎట్లా అడుగుతారు మీరు? నేను అడగాలి మిమ్మల్ని. నేను ఎట్లా అడగాలి ఇప్పుడు?
The answer to your question is Aham Pruchami. Then what question you might have asked me? Tvam Pruchasi.
తం పృచ్ఛసి. అయితే అది
Aham Pruchami. Then I will say Aham Pruchami.
ఓకే, నేను ప్రశ్న ఎట్లా అడగాలి దానికి?
Kam pruchasi.
Tvam Pruchasi kim?
కిం
Pruchami.
అట్లా తం పృచ్ఛసి కిం అని అనాలి.
If it is a conversation between us two. But if somebody is writing Anvaya to a sentence like Tvam Prucha, then Pruchati, Kaha Pruchati, Tvam Prucha. Like that we have to write. Because it is Anvaya. As a third person, we are writing the Anvaya to that.
అదే తం పృచ్ఛసి వా అని కూడా అడగొచ్చు కదా.
Because it is a question we have to ask. If I am expecting an answer.
ప్రశ్నవాచకం అది సమాధానానికి ప్రశ్న చెప్పాలంటే మనం.
Correct.
ఇప్పుడు మనం అనుకున్నది ప్రథమ పురుషుల్ని అడగాలి అనుకున్నాం కదా.
No. When I'm directly asking you, it will be in Madhyama Purusha.
Madhyama Purusha.
Because I am asking you directly.
అదే ప్రవేశలో వచ్చింది ఇది.
Correct. I remember those exercises. There some answers will be given and we will be asked to write the question for it. Right? Then in that case, like that only we have to ask.
ధన్యవాదాలు.
Okay, astu. So, Miru.
Dini, I have a question, very simple question. On the sloka, sorry, sentence number, let me just check. I was just 279. There was a one word, pratishedaha. And I couldn't understand what pratishedaha.
No, for the na, because it is negating. So we use the word pratishedaha. It came in so many sentences even in the previous classes, Bhagini.
I'm sure it have come, but I'm little slow in the class, you know me.
No worries. Yeah, no.
Because that is what my question was, why it is not Anvaya and why it is Pratisheda.
So in the Kriya Padam itself, when a sentence has na, in the Kriya Padam itself we will include. So we say na asti, ka na asti, or kim na asti, tad na asti. Kutra tad na asti, tatra tad na asti. Kada na asti, adhuna na asti. Like that.
Astu, okay. Okay, there is a lot to digest in one go, you know. So
yes,
sometimes it's overwhelming.
Yes. We have to repeat. We have to repeatedly do these sentences. We are discussing here again. You have to go back to those sentences, all of you, and again work through them, because some are easy, but some needs a little bit of discussion. Because it can be interpreted a little differently. So all that. For sentences itself, we are having so many questions. Imagine with a shloka.
Yeah,
we will have unless we know. So the only way we can resolve such doubts is by using the vyakyanams, because we have to understand how the meaning is implied there, and only the author will know, because whoever writes the kavya or composes the kavya, only he will know what the intention of how he wants to imply the meaning. So we have to look at the vyakyanams. So many times what happens is, when people are learning Sanskritam, they don't want to look at vyakyanas. They think the reason why we are learning Sanskritam is because we should be able to understand by ourselves, because now that we have learned Sanskritam, which is true. But all these kavyas are written by such great poets and scholars. All the literary works have been written by such great scholars that it will need a little bit of knowledge to even understand how they are implying a certain thing. So for that, because we are still at a very, very, very beginning stages of learning, so we have to take the help of the vyakyanas to understand the intention of the author. It is not about Samskrita vyakarana. It is about how the person is trying to imply when using that particular word, or how that word is being used. Even in any language that you know, if you observe, you will see such usages. Like even in whatever mother tongue, or in English or any language. So there will always, even in the movies, we see that, right? In the movies, or any stories, or any literary work, practically, any literary work, you can always see how one word can be used to imply so many things. So how are we going to understand that? Only based on the intention of the speaker and the context. So say, for example, there is a child who is never studying, not at all interested in studies. So somebody comes to their house, some far relative, he came after a long time. He doesn't know the status of this child. So he will ask, oh, how is your son studying? So the frustrated parent might say, oh, he studies so well, he gets first all the time. So he's only being sarcastic there. He really doesn't mean that the child is really getting first place. But those words are used. And if we don't know the context and the intention of the speaker, we might think that it is true. But we know, because we are directly there. If even you are a little bit well versed with how the language can be used, we will easily understand that that parent is very frustrated and he meant it with sarcasm, right? So, but literary works, we don't know the tone of the speaker. Here, because you are right in front of that parent, you can see the expression of that person speaking and the tone of the voice. We can figure out whether he's meaning it in a good way, or with a little sarcasm, or with a little frustration. We can understand. But if it is a literary work, we don't know. Of course, they try to use some words to express such things. The Sambodhana words, or just exclamation words, such things they add to indicate that. But based on the context, and you should know a little bit about the characters in that scenario, or whatever it is. A little bit of knowledge is needed, and many times the Vyakya gives us that contextual meaning it will provide. And most of the people who write Vyakyas to such great works would have studied the poet also. They simply won't choose to write the Vyakyas on something. They have already known that person. So say somebody writes Vyakya for a work of Kalidasa. The person who chooses to write it, he must have already studied about Kalidasa also. He might have known Kalidasa personally, or if not personally, he must have studied a lot or heard a lot about him. So he knows the pattern, how they use, when they use what, how they might imply, such things. They study so much about the poet himself. So they will have a better understanding of how that poet means when he uses a particular word in a particular way, what his intentions are. They will have a better idea. So that they will express in the Vyakyana, like how the Vartikas are with respect to Paniniya Sutras. So in the Paniniya Sutra, other than, whatever little is expressed, in the Vartikas, we have seen how so many other cases are also explained. All those are not at all there in the Sutra. From where did these Vartikakaras derive all this? So we might be thinking, did they come up simply just like that? No, because they know they might have worked with Panini, they might have worked or studied about Panini and other works of Panini, and they know how he means it. And Mahabhashyam is another source for the Vartikakaras also to understand. So there are so many other things involved. These are all scholars who write the Vyakyanams and the Tippanis or the Mahabhashyams or the Bhashyams of any Grantha. So to understand the intention, even today we were having a discussion about the same thing. We had questions, and so my professor conducted a meeting with another more scholarly professor from Central Sanskrit University. So he was also explaining. So here there are so many commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. Also, there are so many commentaries. So in one commentary, it is given in one way. In another commentary, it was given a little differently. So which one to take? Both are valid. Both are very great scholars who have written the Vyakyanams. So how? So not going by just one, 2 or 3 very good Vyakyanas if we read, we also will get our own feel. Like even in vyakarana studies, they say the purpose of studying vyakarana. There will be a set of so many rules why you have to study vyakarana. So in that one rule is you have to study vyakarana. Why? Because when you are studying vyakarana, when you are studying from somebody, you at least need to know what they are teaching is whether it is valid or not. Unless you have some sort of understanding about something, how can you even understand when somebody is talking about it, right? So say, for example, a news item. We are not at all following the news of some country, say, for example. So somebody comes and tells us about what is happening in that country. If we don't have any knowledge about what is going on in that country, what are we going to do when somebody is talking about it? Can we believe it or can we not believe it? Or how to go about it also, we don't know. But if we have some knowledge of what is going on in that country, and then this person speaks to us about what is going on in that country, within a few minutes, we will understand if he is telling us valid information or just simply talking. We will be able to figure that out, right? So then why? Because we already have a little bit of knowledge about that country. So that is why we will be able to understand, okay, whatever this person is saying seems valid because I have already done my research. I found these things. He is also talking about the same things and he's talking more. So, more than what I know. So that is good. So whatever little we know, it is tallying. So now we can depend upon this person about the new things that they are telling. So similarly here also, even with the Vyakyanas, basic knowledge from our side is needed to even understand if that Vyakyana is good enough or not. Of course, some like Ramanujacharya or Shankaracharya, with those people, we don't have to assess anything. We know that they are, they provide very good Vyakyanams. But I'm talking about more recent Vyakyanams given by more recent times. We need to know more about them, the validity of their works. Simply, you cannot pick up some Vyakyanam or some translation given by somebody and follow it. We have to stick to the standard, Vyakyanams given by like Shankaracharya or Ramanujacharya or such famous Vyakyanams are there by great scholars. Those we have to follow. If we don't know, then we can always ask somebody, whose Vyakyanas are available for these days with Google in our hands, everything is accessible. But in case we are not able to find something, then again we have to take advice of a person who is more reliable in that field. So similarly, where did we start this discussion?
Pratishedha.
Pratishedha, but after that somewhere we went.
No, you said that because it means what is the writer intended to? That is what we have to look into it. What is the what is it in reference to? And that is why my next question to you is pratishedaha, where in this particular sentence was na asti and asti naha nasti. Instead of that, it says na asti. That is how, so that anvaya, you become pratisheda. So now anytime when there is a opposite contrasting expression is mentioned, is it called pratishedaha, or it is only applicable to this particular situation?
No, na, wherever na is used along with the kriya padam, it indicates pratisheda.
Only with the kriya padam.
When na is used with the kriya padam, yes. But sometimes other than the kriya padam, like in the other shloka that we were doing in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, na ati nicham and na ati too high or too low. That shloka is there, no? There na is used with ati nicham only, not with the actual main kriya padam.
Oh, okay.
Because it does not apply with the main kriya padam. It applies only with this ati nicham word. So there also it is marked as pratishedha only.
Oh, okay.
It is whenever it is indicating the opposite.
So, okay. So wherever it is indicated opposite for anything, so andhakara, it is say, na andhakara. So that means it is prakasha. So that is that
Yes.
na andhakara, that is a pratisheda.
Na marked as pratishedha, yes.
Oh, okay. So, okay. I'm just trying to...
Yes. No worries. Many times na will be along with the kriya padam only. Very rarely it will come with other words. So you have to see. When you say na andhakaraha na asti. Right? When you say andhakaraha, you mean andhakaraha asti or andhakaraha na asti. So again, na comes with the kriya padam only.
Right.
Though we don't always use the word asti, it is implied. In most of the cases, it is implied.
Yeah, so the dictionary word is in, it is like says prevent or restrict, restrain, something like that.
So here these words like parinamadhyotaka or all these are used based on how they are used, how they are being used. So here na is used in the sense of pratisheda. So they picked that word to use that word with na. Like kaladhikaranam. Some of them are karaka relation names which are given by Panini himself. But for all the other words, for most of them are given in the Paniniya Sutras. Though they are not karaka sambandha, some way or the other they are used. They chose to use. Say for example, Panchami Vibhaktehe. There is a sutram which we studied in the Karaka class. So there the Panchami Vibhakti is used to indicate Vibhaktam. Vibhaktam means to separate one from another based on a quality, based on a guna, right? So there Vibhaktam is used in the sense of, separation. So this is being separated from another. One thing is separated from the another based on a quality. So the quality of one thing is different from the quality of that second thing that is being compared. So then Panchami Vibhakti comes. That is what that sutram says. So here our research scholars, what they did, they chose that word Vibhaktam. And they chose to use that word whenever that situation comes. So they named that relation, that particular Panchami Vibhakti, they are labeling it as Vibhaktam.
So Bhagini, here the whole combined with na asti, the entire thing considered as a pratishedha, or na anvaya is considered as a pratishedha used for asti is a kriya padam.
Only na is called pratishedha.
So in that case, now if I'm looking at on the screen, we have so many like that. Na anaya, na gamishati, na pathasi. So they are all opposite to what they are kriya padam. Am I correct to understand?
That kriya is not happening. Na anaya. Anaya means bring. Na anaya, do not bring. So it is showing that that particular kriya is not happening.
Okay.
Nishedam of that kriya is, na is indicating the nishedam of that kriya.
Okay. So na kamishati is also the
Yes.
opposite of kamishati. So
Yes.
so
Not
that means
nishedam is happening. When you say opposite, it will become agamishyati. So
okay.
rather than saying opposite, we have to say that particular kriya is being prohibited from happening.
Okay, prevented. Okay, okay. Okay, अस्तु भगिनी, धन्यवादः भगिनी, सम्यक् पाठयति. You have a lot of patience.
No, Bhagini, you are all very interested in learning, so that is fine. I am also learning from you all, so that is a good thing. It's a mutual thing. Anyways, so next, Toshali Bhagini.
Yeah. 286. तर्हि तदा एव अहं गमिष्यामि. गमिष्यामि क्रियापदम. गम धातु परस्मैपदी, लृट् लकार, उत्तम पुरुष एकवचन. अहं कर्तृपदम. अस्मत् शब्दस्य सर्वनाम प्रथम एकवचन. एव अव्ययम. तदा कालाधिकरणम. तर्हि परिणाम द्योतकः.
तर्हि तदा एव अहं गमिष्यामि. Then I will go only at that time. Tada eva aham gamishyami.
Yeah.
Astu. Next one also begin.
तर्हि तत् न आनय. न आनय क्रियापदम न प्रतिषेधः. तर्हि परिणाम द्योतकः. तत् कर्मपदम.
Tat na anaya. Do not bring that. Okay.
त्वं कर्तृपदम अध्याहृतम्.
त्वं कर्तृपदम अध्याहृतम्. उत्तम. So tarhi tvam tat na anaya. Anantaram api patatu bagini.
तर्हि तत् मह्यं देहि. देहि क्रियापदम. तर्हि परिणाम द्योतकः. तत् कर्मपदम. मह्यं चतुर्थी एकवचन.
चतुर्थी एकवचनम किंतु कारक नाम किम?
संप्रदानम.
Sampradanam. Mahyam means to me, for me. So tarhi tvam tat mahyam dehi. So here tvam again adhyahritam. Dehi is in madhyama purusha ekavachana lot lakara. Astu. Astu. Anantaram Alivelu Bagini.
आं भगिनि.
289.
तर्हि देवदत्तः अपि न गमिष्यति. गमिष्यति क्रियापदं गम धातु लृट्लकारं प्रथम पुरुष एकवचनं. देवदत्तः कर्तृपदम् अपि अव्ययं. न प्रतिषेधं. तर्हि परिणामद्योतकः.
So whenever na is there in the kriyapadam itself, na gamishyati. Alla chappan.
न गमिष्यति.
We have to include na in the kriyapadam itself when
न गमिष्यति क्रियापदम्.
कः न गमिष्यति?
देवदत्तः न गमिष्यति.
अस्तु. अनन्तरं
तर्हि शीतं दुग्धं देहि. देहि क्रियापदं दा धातुः मध्यमपुरुषः एकवचनं. दुग्धं कर्मपदं. शीतं विशेषणं तु कर्मपदं. त्वम् अजाहृतं कर्तृपदं. तर्हि परिणामद्योतकम्.
So tarhi शीतं दुग्धं त्वं देहि. So then you give cold milk.
Cold milk.
91 api patatu bagini.
तर्हि संस्कृतं किं न पठसि. पठसि क्रिया न पठसि क्रियापदं न प्रतिषेधं. पठसि पठ धातुः मध्यमपुरुषः एकवचनं लट्लकारं. त्वम् अजाहृतं कर्तृपदं. संस्कृतं कर्मपदं. తర్హి పరిణామద్యోతకం किं किं प्रश्नवाचकम्.
So kim we can take it as though here it is in before the kriya padam, it doesn't make sense along with samskritam. Tarhi samskritam kim na patasi, so na patasi kim, it sounds like na patasi kim, so then you are not reading or studying samskritam. So here kim can be marked as prashnavachaka only. Okay, though it is in front of patasi, in front of the kriya padam, because earlier we discussed if it is after the kriya padam it will become prashnavachaka, otherwise it will become karma. But here samskritam karma padam is already there. Kim can be taken as prashnavachaka. Tarhi kim na patasi, so na patasi kim, like that. Astu. Anantaram पुनः लक्ष्मी नरसिंहाचार्य महोदय.
आमान्य तव तव उपानत् कुत्र अस्ति? उपानत् అంటే షూస్ కదా ఇది? షూస్. तव उपानत् कुत्र अस्ति? अस्ति क्रियापदं, कर्तृपदं उपानत् कर्तृपदं, कुत्र దేశాధికరణం, తవ అక్కడ షష్ఠి సంబంధం కదా, ఉపానత్ ఉపానత్కు షష్ఠి సంబంధం.
తవ yes.
అస్తి ఇక్కడ క్రియాపదం అస్ధాతు కర్తరి లట్లాకారం ప్రథమ ఏకవచనం పరస్మైపది అదార్థాత్. కుత్ర అవ్యయం ఇది దేశాధికరణం. ఉపానత్ ఉపాన స్త్రీలింగం ప్రథమ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం. ఉపానత్ అని ఉన్నది ఇక్కడ. మామూలుగా ఇది నపుంసకలింగానికి ఉంటాయి కదా.
ఉపానః హకారాంత స్త్రీలింగ శబ్దం.
ఉపానః హకారాంత స్త్రీలింగం ఏకవచనం, ప్రథమ ఏకవచనం.
ఉపానః ఇత్యుక్తే
చప్పల్
इत्युक्ते
शूज चप्पल.
ओके
शूज
चप्पल बोलते हैं ना,
चप्पल और शू, एनीथिंग you can, footwear, some kind of footwear. अनन्तरं
तव युष्मद् सर्वनामपदं षष्ठी एकवचनं, षष्ठी संबंधं.
93 చదవండి.
तव गुरुः कुत्र अस्ति? ఇది కూడా అట్లా అంటే సేమ్ కదా. అస్తి క్రియాపదం, కుత్ర దేశాధికరణం, గురుః కర్తృపదం, తవ గురుః అనే దానికి షష్ఠి సంబంధం అనే పదం. కుత్ర దేశాధికరణం, స్పర్త గురువు అంటారు అంతే.
తవ గురువు కుత్ర అస్తి?
అస్తి అస్తి ఎట్లాగో మామూలుగా అదే.
అనంతరం
తవ చిత్తం కుత్ర అస్తి, సేమ్ ఇది కూడా అట్లాంటిదే కదా. తవ చిత్తం కుత్ర అస్తి, చిత్తం అనేది కర్తృపదం అవుతుంది, కుత్ర దేశాధికరణం మళ్ళా, అస్తి అదే క్రియాపదం. తవ చిత్తానికి తవకు షష్ఠి సంబంధం, షష్ఠి సంబంధం కదా.
సో తవ చిత్తం కుత్ర అస్తి,
తవ చిత్తం కుత్ర, ఈ మూడు అట్లాంటివే. ఒక 92, 93, 94.
ఇది కూడా చెప్పండి 95.
తవ జామాత మధురం దుగ్ధం రాత్రౌ పాస్యతి. ఇక్కడ పాస్యతి క్రియాపదం, జామాత కర్తృపదం, మధురం దుగ్ధం అనేది కర్మపదం, మధురం దాని దుగ్ధానికి క్రియా విశేషణం కదా, నామవిశేషణం దానికి విశేషణం. రాత్రౌ మళ్ళా దేశాధికరణం
కాలాధికరణం.
కాలాధికరణం తవ షష్ఠి సంబంధం తవ జామాత అని జామాత అంటే షష్ఠి సంబంధం
అస్తు సో జామాత కర్తృపదం జామాత
మాతృశబ్దం ప్రథమ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం దుగ్ధం దుగ్ధ నపుంసకలింగ ద్వితీయ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం మధురం మళ్ళా మధురం దాన్ని విశేషణం కాబట్టి మధుర శబ్దం నపుంసకలింగం అదే దానికి ఆ విభక్తి ఆ వచనం ఉంటుంది ఆ లింగం ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి మధురం దుగ్ధం నపుంసకలింగం ద్వితీయ విభక్తి ఏకవచనం.
अस्तु धन्यवादः महोदय.
रात्रौ सप्तमी भवति.
रात्रि इकारान्त स्त्रीलिंग शब्दं सप्तमी भवति. श्रीनिवासाचार्य महोदय.
तदा दासः ग्रामं गमिष्यति किम्? गमिष्यति क्रियापदं, ग्रामं कर्मपदं, दासः कर्तृपदं. तव षष्ठी संबंधः टु दासः किं प्रश्नवाचकं.
किं प्रश्नवाचकं. तव दासः ग्रामं गमिष्यसि किं?
किं प्रश्नवाचकं. गमिष्यति गम धातु लुट्लकार प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनं प्रथमा पुरुष एकवचनं. ग्रामं द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचनं. ग्रामः शब्द. दासः प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनं.
तव षष्ठी
संबंधः तु दासः. तव दूतः लेखितुं न शक्नोति. न शक्नोति क्रियापदं, दूतः कर्तृपदं, लेखितुं तुमुन्नन्तं. तव षष्ठी संबंधः टु दूतः.
So here the tumun suffixes can be taken in three ways. Still discussion is going on that, but as of now one is if ichchati is there as the main kriya padam, ish karma, we mark the lekhitum as ish karma. The tumun suffix is ish karma. If shaknoti, shak dhatu is there, then it will become tumun karma, and for all other cases it will become prayojana.
Okay, ikkada tumun karma.
Here it has to be tumun karma. There is a Paniniya Sutra. For a list of dhatus, the tumun suffix will be considered as a karma padam to that kriya padam. In that shak dhatu is there.
Okay.
In that list of dhatus. Please read the next one also, Mahoday.
तव धर्मपत्नी अत्र अस्ति किम्? अस्ति क्रियापदं, धर्मपत्नी कर्तृपदं, अत्र देशाधिकरणं, किं प्रश्नवाचकं. तव षष्ठी संबंधः टु धर्मपत्नी.
Here dharmapatni is actually shashti. What do you say? No, not shashti. Samasa word, right?
Dharmapatni. Okay.
So we can split it as a samasa word also. What kind of samasa can we mark it as?
Visheshana purvapada.
Visheshana purvapada.
Dharma anedi visheshana kada.
It cannot be shashti, definitely. So what kind of patni? Dharma patni. So we can mark it as karmadhari. Astu. 299.
तव पुत्रः कदा वनं गमिष्यति? तव पुत्रः कदा वनं गमिष्यति? गमिष्यति क्रियापदं, वनं कर्मपदं, पुत्रः कर्तृपदं, कदा कालाधिकरणं, तव षष्ठी संबंधः टु पुत्रः.
So tava putraha kada vanam gamishyati.
गमिष्यति गम धातु लुट्लकार प्रथम पुरुष एकवचन वनम वनम नपुंसकलिंग द्वितीय विभक्ति एकवचन
And tava is shashti.
षष्ठी संबंध टु पुत्र
Anantaram last sentence.
तव पुत्रः कुत्र अस्ति अस्ति क्रियापदं कुत्रः कर्तृपदं कुत्र देशाधिकरणं तव षष्ठी संबंध टु पुत्र
So any questions, anyone until here? So you keep again practicing whatever we covered in the class. You try to do it again and compare it with the graph. And if you think anything is wrong, you let me know. Whatever we discussed, I am marking with the sentences that we are discussing. If there are any mistakes, I'm making a note of those. But if you come across anything also, you let me know. Because, mistakes will happen. The thing is, we need to correct them. So if no more questions, we shall stop here.
धन्यवादः
Cheppandi Mahodaya.
धन्यवादः
धन्यवादः महोदय
धन्यवादः अस्तु. So Alivelu Bagini.
आं भगिनि सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ओम शांति शांति शांतिः नमस्कार भगिनी धन्यवादः सर्वेभ्यः नमस्कारः धन्यवादः
धन्यवादः भगिनी सर्वेभ्यः शुभरात्रि।